It's a lot been going on. Firstly, we beat Espanyol 2 goals to nil. Two fantastic goals by Vinicius Jr. No, Mbappe was hurt, and he was in Italy, by the way. Um, and post that game, there's been a lot of chatter about news coming out of the camp that Mbappe had an issue with one of Abeloa's staff, and there was unrest and arguments here and there, a rift between the players and Mbappe. And since then, there's been a petition started by somebody that has, at time of recording, over 12 million or 18 million uh, signatures for him to leave Real Madrid. Um, he's been singled out as the cause of the imbalance, of course. And And I know there's a little like a group of people too who think that Mbappe is not the problem, and how can somebody who scores as many goals that he does be the problem? And to those people saying that, I want to kind of address you guys. There are too many coincidences that point to Mbappe. Listen, I wanted Mbappe at Real Madrid for the longest, right? But I have to admit that not looking good for you, man. I mean, I've said it in this channel time after time again, after Madrid match again. Mbappe's positional indiscipline is costing us. He cannot lose a defender to save his life when the ball's on the byline. The best every time the only runs he makes is if we're in transition on a counter and he can use the space, and he barely even makes that as much. But he did against Bayern. I give him that. But his positional indiscipline is just so obvious. And if the 2 seasons that Real Madrid go trophyless with him, first 2 seasons, and the first 2 seasons without him, PSG win 2 trebles, those would be two heavy coincidences. There's the goal per game issue, or the goal per game point, right? PSG last season in the league, they scored 2.7 goals per game in their league, right? And in league and Champions League it was about 2.6. I did my homework. Season before last season, which is the last season with Mbappe, they scored 30 goals less, and they played 5 games less. So they scored 2.2 per game, which is a drop from 2.6, but 2.4 in the league, which is a drop from 2.7. That's with Mbappe. And without Mbappe, like I said, 2.7 and 2.6. Real Madrid, the season before, we scored 2.3 goals with Mbappe. I mean, sorry, without Mbappe, the season before he came, and the season he came in the league, we scored 2.1. So again, a drop in goals per game. But his goal tally was still healthy. For PSG scored 27 league goals that last season, and for Real Madrid, the following season, he scored 31 league goals. So his numbers remain the same, but the team's performance in terms of goals per game dropped. Now, obviously, there are nuances, right? There's the no Tony Cruz factor, no Modric factor, and stuff like that. I personally don't. I mean, I think it's a worthy shout, but I think that even with them, I think it will have caused a problem because of the aforementioned positional and discipline of Mbappe. I think that he needs to start looking at himself. I think that, and these are all just stats. I think if you watch the game the way we do, you would also see it in the game again. Bar PSG, bar the Bayern game for Real Madrid. I thought those 2 games were some very very good number 9 performances that he should go off of. But Mbappe needs to start looking at himself. There's been problems around him off the pitch in terms of, like, his staff and teammates for a while now. It happened in France, happened in PSG, now it's happening in Real Madrid. I think he needs to start looking at himself. I understand that he likes touching the ball Playing up top, you need a lot of patience to play up top. You might not touch the ball for a while. You need to like just stay engaged. But um, Benzema, who's a ball playing nine, showed how you can do both. Come, be involved in the build up. You can take on players if you want, but also have the game intelligence, the positional intelligence, the ball IQ, pun intended, to make the runs in the box to stretch your team, to stretch the opposition team, and create more avenues and chances for your team. If you make those runs, Vinicius Jr. will pass the ball. That's the type of player he is. Vinny will not is not interested in scoring 40 goals a season. Vinny will score 20 goals and have 20 assists. If Mbappe just learns how to play as a nine, incorporate that nine movement in his game, he will eat. He will score goals. You will score. Benzema scored goals with Vinicius. Jude scored goals with Vinicius. Rodrigo scored goals with Vinicius. Joselu scored goals with Vinicius. Gonzalo Garcia scored goals with Vinicius. You will score. Just be disciplined. Look at Vinicius's the two goals really against in the last game, but particularly the first goal. Um, Gonzalo Garcia's movement of like staying away from him in the box. Then when Vinicius cuts in, he shows for the 1-2. Mbappe playing, he will not be there to even do it. So Kylian Mbappe, I'm wearing your jersey. I've been a big fan of yours for a while. I've wanted you at Real Madrid for a while, but you need to look at yourself in the mirror. Decide what kind of player you want to be, what kind of legacy you want to leave behind. If you want to stay around Madrid, which I believe you do, you need to start making some difficult changes to your style of play because the team needs something different than what you're offering. I know you're scoring goals, but that's just a smoke screen in my if as far as I'm concerned, just a smoke screen. So I believe in you. I think that you have it in you. I, you're too good to not have it in you. It's just I refuse to give up on you, but it's really up to you. It's really up to you. Anyway, Classico is coming up this weekend. Personally, I don't think Kylian should start. If I know he's working his fitness way up to be ready for the game, but I don't really think he should start. I don't think he should play. I think Gonzalo Garcia should play, and if we manage to get a result, because again we're playing for pride, we don't want them to beat us and win the league with with us on their pitch. It will not be nice. Even though they're going to win anyway, but at least that wouldn't be nice. But if we manage to pull out a result and play well without Killian, if he doesn't start, I think it will kind of like continue to put another nail into this um, point that a good number of us have been pointing out about Kylian Mbappe. So we'll see what happens.